are in Singapore, the Lion City, as we bring you back for the 4th day of action at this 8th edition of the FIBA 3x3 Asia Cup. So we've gone through, again, 3 days of action so far, 2 days of qualifying draw play. We saw our first day of main draw action yesterday that featured men's groups B and D, women's groups A and C. Today it will be the opposite, and by the end of business, our quarterfinal round will officially be set. You saw the weather forecast, but I'm expecting some light showers, light wind from the west. No, I really don't know any of that type of stuff. I'm not a meteorologist, but the weather right now is good. Great conditions for some 3x3 hoop. You can see some nice, friendly fans' faces here, ready to check out the action. Here are the previous Asia Cup winners in the men's competition. Way back in 2013, Qatar got us started, and since then it's been Mongolia and Australia trading places. The Aussies with 4 golds to their name, and the previous winners for the women's competition, India taking the first place prize, but back-to-back years, Australia taking first place. China has also has a first place finish in there as well. So we saw the Japanese ladies yesterday play really well. They're just spectators today. They'll be watching the men's team in action as we get a look at the pools so far. China and India, atop Pool B. New Zealand beating Qatar to stay unbeaten, as those 2 teams will go on to the quarterfinals. That is one half of the bracket. The other groups, of course, we will see today. And we get another look at a 3-way tie in Pool A, the women's competition. New Zealand, the odd team out, thanks to an unfortunate injury to Smiler. And I mentioned the Japanese ladies, didn't I? Yeah, they are cooking. 2-0. So before we get into today's action, class will be in session. You need to learn the rules of 3x3. Trust me. Here's the younger Kyle Montgomery to take care of that.
Yo, what's good? My name is Kyle Montgomery, AKA the voice of 3x3. And if for some reason you still don't know the rules of 3x3, it is time to tap in. Class is officially in session. So on our half court, you've got 2 teams of 3 players with 1 additional substitute on the bench. Yo, what's up, sub? Can I check in? In 3x3, even the ball is different. This is the official Wilson right here. Trust me, it's groovy, baby. This game is pedal to the metal. 10-minute game clocks, just 12-second shot clocks, and a 1st to 21 scoring format for the win. If a team doesn't score 21 points, all they have to do is outscore their opponent within 10 minutes. And you know we keep it street. In this game, we score by 1s and 2s. Anything inside the arc is worth 1. Anything outside of the arc is worth 2. Still got it. And this game is all gas, no brakes. Literally, after the opening check ball, play is continuous. Make or miss, offense turns to defense just like that. This 10-minute sprint is just getting started. We'll see you at the top.
All right, we are back from OCBC Square. You now know the rules of the game. 3x3, 10 minutes on the game clock, 12-second shot clocks. It is fast and furious. We expect the action today to be the same. Again, we'll see men in pools C and A in action and women in B and D. That means that we'll see former champions, Mongolia. We'll see former champions, Australia, in both the men's and women's competitions. We'll see the Philippines women, who are direct qualifiers. How about that Indonesia team that came out of the qualifying draw? They were spectacular. Also, a look at the Thailand women, who opened some eyes, I think, at the Champions Cup just about a week ago. So there are some intriguing matchups. Oh, not to forget, of course, home standing Singapore. So the home team trying to represent in their own backyard. Those are the squads that will be in action today. I'm the voice of 3x3, Kyle Montgomery. The Czar is with me too, Angelo Sakarakis. And now he finally gets a chance to talk. Again, I'm sorry, just take the microphone and I go. Angelo, let us pick your brain as we head into this 4th of 5 days of play. Number one, how you feeling?
I feel good, man.
Okay, and number two, as you look at the entire spectrum of today's action, today's teams, what are you expecting? Who are you expecting to stand out?
First of all, thank you, far too kind. My voice is warmed up. I didn't need to speak much more because I had a long morning doing coaching clinics and workshops. So it was a beautiful morning interacting with the coaching community out here in Singapore, and you had quite a few federations, Papua New Guinea, New Caledonia, and among others like Macau, that came out and interacted with me and Simon. So that was fantastic.
Excellent. Now, and I know they got some great information from you. The energy, the vibes were right. So
yeah,
I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Great morning, great vibes indeed, and very blessed and fortunate to be able to share the knowledge. But now let's focus on this matchup that is quite the intriguing matchup, because whoever wins this game is setting itself up for success when it comes to knockout action, potentially. And you do not want to miss your steps as you start the competition in the main draw, as Iran is going to have quite the tricky matchup against a very skilled and aggressive Japanese squad. They're going to be focused defensively on trying to limit the two-point range efficiency from the Japanese, and it's going to be quite an effort that will be necessary in that matter.
Well, don't forget now, Iran, silver. They took second place at last year's event. And they got half of that squad back, but I think this team might be even better. When you look at Vahedi and what he did in the qualifying draw, the last 2 games in particular, this is number 3 in red I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The man scored 22 points in the last 2. They didn't lose a game in the QD.
No.
They got great size. Rahimi, if we thought he was good last year, the big man is just an absolute tower of terror in the middle. I mean, he is incredible this year. So I like how they're composed. I think that teams are going to have a really difficult time with Iran. They have the looks and the makings of a podium team.
Yes.
I'm curious to see how Japan matches up. I like Ozawa. I mean, but outside of him, I'm got some questions about what they can do. Well, maybe they can prove something to me.
Well, the questions are answered pretty fast now. What they can do is play as a team, as a unit, Kyle. Give you a whole lot of off-ball movement and backdoor cutting and fake actions on the ball. But with Japan, it usually is summarized with two-point shooting efficiency. If they manage to knock down those long-range bombs, then they have a chance. They have an opportunity to make this game competitive. At the end of the day, I completely agree with your assessment. It is a better Iran team. It is a 2.0 version of what we saw from them last year. They're coming out for gold. They're coming out for that first place. They want to up what they achieved last year. So it's going to be a very important matchup for them, because Japan is one of those scrappy teams that will harass you, put a whole lot of on-ball pressure on you. But physically, Iran obviously has the advantage in the matchup, so it's going to be a battle of wills and wits.
Well, we are underway officially, the last day of main draw action, as we set our sights on tomorrow's quarterfinals here in Singapore. The voice of 3x3, Kyle Montgomery, rocking the mic with you. Angelo the Czar, Sakarakis alongside. Deep to attempt from Ozawa. Goes begging off the iron. It is rebounded and cleared by Iran.
See the ball pressure?
Runners-ups. Yes, the ball pressure, but also the ball movement as Iran try to find some freedom. We invite you to follow us on social media, if you would, please. We would really appreciate that. At FIBA 3x3, the official account. Use the hashtag 3x3Asia.
at 3x3 The Voice if you want to follow yours truly, Kyle Montgomery.
Or Instagram. He's got a unique speller for that, though. So I don't know.
Czar, the Czar, baby, the Czar.
Oh, my goodness, go away.
Man, Vahidi, there is no cooling off. Vahidi has been...
Oh, well, I got to see that
menace.
block again. This block is more deflating than having your balloon popped. Have you seen that challenge on the ground? That's hurtful. That's hurtful.
And what's more hurtful is the fact that you get scored on right back after that.
Yeah, have you seen that balloon pop thing where, you know, somebody walks in and they're potential, like, people they would date. If they don't like them right off the bat, they just pop the balloon. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That is funny. That is funny because sometimes they regret their choice. You cannot judge a book by its cover.
That's right.
Don't be judgmental, people. Don't.
2-zip out of the gate, so Zawa will get Japan on the board here. And he's got another one in front of him. He's continued to emerge as one of Japan's top players.
Yeah, full-time pro 3x3 player.
He's such a dynamic scorer, particularly that counts.
How pretty is that shooting form, Kyle?
Well, it's even better behind that two-point arc. He is an absolute weapon from deep. And he's really the centerpiece of this Japanese offense unless or until proven different. Agajanpour, another returning player from last year's runner-up team. Rahimi bringing the defense and the offense. He's multi-talented.
Yeah, and that dynamic combo of Agajanpour and Rahimi, it's quite interesting to watch the dynamic as Agajanpour has improved tremendously playing with the dribble this year.
Let's not forget about how well Jafari played in that final qualifying draw contest. He's starting to elevate his game as well. But listen, we know where their bread is buttered, and that is with Rahimi. He will misfire on the mid-range J, and the entry pass by Ozawa is deflected, kicked out, fresh 12 to work with.
Ozawa needs that extra dribble, Kyle. One dribble usually is not enough when you play two-man action. You need to open up the gap by a second dribble.
Dewa now up top, trying to create some space. He'll get it to Ozawa. Ozawa trying to create something. Jab step, dangerous, but the shot was no good. They still can get it up before the horn, and they do. But it does not amount to a bucket. Agajanpour swings it left. Jafari on the wing. Jafari hands it off. Agajanpour elevates. He didn't make one of those in group play.
What was that, Kyle?
Well, he went window shopping that time.
Off balance.
The two, no good. Agajanpour with the board. Oh, and Vahidi hits the deck.
But I like the patience from Team Iran. They're trying to feed the ball inside, even though Japan is doing as good of a job as they can do right now to keep Rahimi off the paint. But fronting is not the idea. Fronting is not the solution. And you're going to tell me, well, Angelo, if he stays behind, he's going to suffer the consequences.
You know I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I anticipate. That's my job, to anticipate. But the truth is, I'd rather have a player play 3 quarters and try to push out the paint as much as possible. Because when you front, especially with no help side, if you have a good passer and an athletic big man, which is the case with Rahimi, this is a bucket.
Well, he does not get a bucket at the line. They do keep it alive, but not for long. Stolen by the Japanese. Up top, Ozawa, 2-ball, Paya.
That was a pretty funny interaction that we saw between Rulioff, our referee, and Ozawa. Because Ozawa was playing defense, and the ball got in between his legs. So he's like, well, if it gets to that point, I'm outside the 2.
Yeah, well, I was thinking the same thing. He wasn't defending in the semi-circle.
No, he was not.
Fast don't lie. Vahidi is the truth. Ozawa off the front iron. We got a 6-4 game. Agajanpour is, I guess he lost his balance, but he had some help.
Got the chair pulled on him for sure. But I like the willingness to utilize the size advantage as fast as possible on the transition, Kyle. Right now, Iran is following the game plan pretty well.
Dewa Little 10-footer is a no-go.
Yeah, but he just slipped.
And again, Iran, who had yesterday off to kind of recover from the qualifying draw. They come in looking pretty fresh, certainly hungry to finish as a top 3 performer in this event again. Also very anxious to see the both the Australian teams who are defending crowns from a year ago. That's that blocking in. That was pretty vicious. Rahimi, he woke up in beast mode. He woke up in beast mode. He's got some help too. Agajampur.
I mean, he's had so many open looks in the qualifying draw, couldn't knock one down, and the most difficult shot you could possibly take, going left off balance as a right-handed shooter.
He manages to get that one to go.
Right.
Crazy how it works out sometimes. 6'4", working ourselves in. Oh, Ozawa, Wada. That is what he does. Shooters gonna shoot.
And Iran needs to be much cleaner with the ball. There is no reason for them to turn the ball over dribbling. Open up the spacing, collaborate with Rahimi and Agajampur, try to feed down low with size advantage. And to the credit of Japan, they pressure the ball as expected, doing a good job making life hard on Iran.
6'6". First look at Japan, and looking pretty good so far with Ozawa leading the way. He's got the green light and the green release all up in his facial region. Ozawa from a different region. Long two-piece.
It's quite difficult not to appreciate the skill set and how pretty that shooting form looks, but he's capable of knocking down such tough shots, Kyle, off balance, contested. I almost want to say he's more efficient when he has a hand in his face than when he's by himself.
He's one of the best contested shooters mid-time.
Well, Vahidi says, look, man, you better stop talking about Ozawa and not mention my name.
Yeah, you better get a hand up. The old Jafari, he got underneath Ozawa that time, and Ozawa was actually attempting the 2.
Yeah, so that's a foul.
A bad foul, and the 6th. But there's a look at that FaceTime. This ain't no video call. Ozawa automatic at the line, 2 in front of him. First is good. What else did you expect?
Lucky number 13 going to work right now.
And Ozawa connects on them both. Japan, 3-point lead. Vahidi, turns it over. This Japanese defense is intense.
The ball pressure, Kyle.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Ozawa. That time he got caught up. He will turn it over. And what they've done is, there's Radio Rahimi. Man, they about to win it because he's losing it. That's Ozawa, that is. 4-point lead.
Iran unable right now to keep up with the great work from Ozawa, but Japan playing with the hot hand. Japan identifying where the advantage is. When you got the man steaming that way.
When you got a weapon like Ozawa, you got a chance to win any game. Vahidi, count it! So he's seen enough. The sharpshooting of Japan is why they have the lead at 13-10 right now. And they sped Iran up a little more than we've seen them play. They like to feed it inside.
But the ball pressure has taken Iran out of their game.
Well, they sped them up defensively and offensively.
For sure. But we talked about that early, right, Kyle? It's all about the outside shooting efficiency for Japan. They haven't even made a layup.
A good test of Iran's composure here in the first game in the main draw. Travel.
Yes.
But they're keeping the ship steady, so to speak.
Yeah, they're composed.
Right, so they've withstood this firestorm of twos from Ryo Ozawa to maintain in the game. 13-11. Rahimi, the hook, give me that. Sometimes you're just gifted with size and you're just bigger. Careful. Ozawa!
Stop it.
He's hot as lava.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my, this is one of the best shooting displays we've seen here in Singapore. What a pass! That was spectacular from Agajanpur.
17 foul. What kind of game are we watching right now, Kyle?
Look at Ozawa. He hit it from another zip code again.
But you know what's going on, right? When you give a shooter a few good looks, he starts seeing the rim like a huge, huge bucket. Sometimes you get into that groove where you can just throw it up. It doesn't even matter. Eyes closed, left hand off balance, off the wrong foot, whatever you want to say, it's going in. And now Iran, being in foul trouble, is getting closer to major trouble because we're barely at the halfway point and you already got Japan with 15. I do appreciate the composure from Team Iran, but they need to watch out because you better put a target on Ozawa's back and make sure everybody identifies where he's at all time on the court.
We got a 16-13 game. 5 minutes on the game clock, and I don't think that we're going to go the limit in this one. Plenty of fireworks. No shortage of offenses. Jafari, he will throw that one away. Turnover. And Iran, again, as Angelo mentioned, is in the penalty defensively. So they have to be careful. And they got all eyes on Ozawa, number 13 in white. He will take it again and get it to Ozawa, and he is beyond
insane.
He's volcanic. He's explosion right now, personified. Out to the Wizard of Ozawa. Somewhere over the rainbow, he knocks one down again. The Wizard of Ozawa.
This is the most impressive outside shooting that I've seen in my career commentating,
this is
Kyle.
Crazy.
We've never seen that.
I think he's got 19 in the game.
I don't remember somebody else scoring. Do you? Yeah,
No.
one bank free throw, one free throw.
This
19 points!
And I think if he scores another bucket, this will be a record. A single game record for the highest individual scoring performance in 3x3 history. Ladies
isn't
and
it
gentlemen,
already?
you are watching something special.
Unique.
No, it's tied. On the Pro Tour we've had, and also Japanese women.
19 all time?
Imura scored 19 in the game.
So it's a tied record already.
It's a tied record already. A new record could be set if Ryo Ozawa gets another bucket. This you don't see very often.
It is more than insane. It's incredible. It's the most beautiful shooting output I've witnessed.
This is more rare than a Sasquatch sighting.
Forget about Sasquatch.
This is crazy.
Forget about Sasquatch.
He single-handedly has got Japan on the doorstep of taking this win. Vahidi, look at that Euro step. You ain't seen it like that before.
Ozawa's taking a much-needed rest, but
Kick to the corner. Is somebody else going to contribute? Swung up top. Nakanishi, no good. Rebound goes to Red. Agajanpur. Iran are not going away. Agajanpur knocks another one down. Iran within 3. What a game here to start the day. Skip dish. Whoa. So Vahidi was trying to obviously get a blocked shot there. Left his feet. A little bit of a dangerous play and a hard foul. Yeah. And Eagle, you can see, is a bit shaken up. And
I just hope his shoulder is okay. I just hope his shoulder is okay.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional, but that's just...
If the shoulder popped out of place, that is hurtful.
That's just Vahidi playing hard, but bit of a scary play. Yeah, Ego is. Wow.
I think the shoulder popped out of place.
Yeah,
on the fall.
He's not able to move that left shoulder.
And you know who's coming in to shoot that free throw, right?
It better be Ozawa.
Well, you know, but I'll tell you one thing. I don't agree with Japan's choice of having Ozawa on the sideline.
Oh, wow. Yeah, his shoulder is definitely out of place. I can see it here. So we wishing the best here for Ego. Obviously, a little bit bittersweet because what we've seen from Ryo Ozawa in this game has been historical.
Well,
hitting this free throw.
Oh, 20 points. It's done. It's done.
So Ozawa at the line.
It's done.
And you are looking at a new 3x3 record. He scored 20 of 21. I repeat, Ozawa scores 20 of Japan's 21 points in a win over Iran. An iconic, incredible performance here in Singapore at this 8th edition of the Asia Cup. Truly, truly a special game for Ryo Ozawa.
He's more than special. It's history. It's and I disagree with Japan's choice of having Ozawa out on that offensive possession. They ended up earning free throws, and with the substitution, Ozawa got to finish his masterpiece. But for me, just leave him on the court. I mean, finish what you start. Because you see how close Iran got in the end? Because if he turns the ball over, Iran has the ball to close within 1 point. And you know, we've seen games stolen away more than once in 3x3.
Yes, yes.
So if you're Ozawa, you just don't want to gamble that. You want to get on the court because he can get to the paint. He can shoot it without even watching the rim right now and make that shot. 20 points, Kyle. I've never seen that in my whole life. Incredible.
Yeah, this shooting performance is worth sticking around. Just count the 2 balls. Every time Ozawa got a look, he was dead eye. The man was shooting his shot like PPA. It's like he had a red dot. The accuracy was unbelievable. And Iran, I think against any other team, they're going to probably win the game. They played a great game, Iran did.
I mean, 21-17.
But when you run into a firestorm like that from an individual player, what can you do? I mean, there's nothing. They put the hand up in his face. The shots were contested. It did not matter. Ryo Ozawa was straight water. Straight water. 20 points. And that's a hell of a way to start the day.
You knew the game plan before you started. You knew who the best shooter was. You knew what Japan was looking for. So we talked about the battle of will and wits. And the wits of Japan and the will of Ozawa got the job done. And you got to just tip your hat. What else can you say?
Nothing. That one will leave you speechless. And I don't know if we see one like that again. You know, the only way you can top that is by scoring all 21.
Right. I mean, it's insane. Absolutely insane.
All right.
Absolutely insane. At this level of competition,
crazy.
Insane.
All right. We got women's action coming up next. Last year's 3rd place finishers, Mongolia. So the ladies of Mongolia will face off with Chinese Taipei, who come out of the qualifying draw. And they had their battle tested themselves. So that action is coming right up in just about 5 minutes. So stick around, don't go far. You certainly don't want to miss what's coming up next. Who knows in this game of 3x3. All right, here we go. The action rolling on from Singapore, from OCBC Square. Mongolia, they made the podium last year. An emotional trip to the podium that Angelo remembers very well because he was the man doing the interview. And we're still showing it over and over again because it kind of makes you tear up a little bit watching Kulan Anobatar, number 13.
Yeah, I had a hard time containing my emotions during that interview. I promise you that.
She's now joined her squad on the court, and she's the spoon that stirs the tea. I can tell you that now on this Mongolian team. A well-rounded squad and a country that's continued to get better and better. An Olympic representative in 3x3, and you know, I think no better representative of the game in 3x3 than Kulan Anobatar. I think that such a class player, so much heart, great leadership.
Great improvement over the years.
Absolutely. And speaking of improvement, Chinese Taipei have made it out of the qualifying draw to get here and had to win in overtime of their last qualifying draw game, which was a thriller. The over-the-shoulder reverse from Ting was unbelievable, but that was a heck of a fight against Hong Kong.
That was just as deserving. You couldn't go wrong going with either teams, and Chinese Taipei ended up taking the best of this matchup. But it's going to be quite interesting. One thing that intrigues me, Kyle, I've never seen such a lengthy roster for Mongolia. Because usually Arun Tsetseg and Ulaanbaatar are the taller frames in the roster. So I'm looking forward to see the addition of Erdene Bayan to see what kind of input she can bring to a team of Mongolia that's always played very well with the off-ball movement, with the outside shooting, and the tenacity defensively. But they've never had somebody that could be a factor under the cup. You see, somebody that could use length. And right now, she is the tallest player on the court as we speak.
Well, you mentioned the size of Mongolia here. This is, the most lengthy roster that they fielded.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to give them a pretty distinct advantage over Chinese Taipei. The Mongolian teams are always very tough, very physical.
Yes.
You know, there's no shortage of effort all the way to the end. If Chinese Taipei can get them off balance, I think, and I say this a lot, but you know, that dribble penetration is what they're going to need to utilize to break down the defense, and they got to be consistent and accurate and efficient in their scoring. And I think, you know, Chinese Taipei has a chance to potentially win this game, but only if they're able to convert over the length of the Mongolians and really dictate the pace, speed them up, and get them out of the comfort zone.
I also think that they need to be looking for that matchup with Ting on Bulbul Murat off switches and pick and roll action. If they manage to find that advantage, Ting has been a menace in the paint. She's been quite the force, and Bulbul Murat will have quite a hard time to keep her out of the paint. So you need to keep that composure and patience. That two-lady action between Su and Ting has been quite an efficient option for Team Chinese Taipei. So can they find that in this matchup?
We will find out. We got 10 minutes on the game clock. We got 6 players on the floor, and that means we're all set to go. On and popping, Pool B action in the ladies to start off their competition. Just saw a crazy scoring outburst from Ryo Ozawa, Team Japan, as they top Iran in the men's competition, Pool C. So let's see what the ladies can bring. Aryan Tsetseg to the crib. She will get it back, and she finishes what she started to get Mongolia on the board. To the wing. Baseline. Drive. Elevation. Nice. Drop step. Bucket. Chinese Taipei have their share of weaponry as well. Team gets out to get a hand up, and Aryan Tsetseg is off target.
That's the matchup I told you about. Ting against Bulbul Murat, Kyle.
Yes, they found it quickly, didn't they?
Yep.
Yep, assessed that defense, found the mismatch, and they go right inside and come away with a bucket.
They need to capitalize on those opportunities, because this is barbecue chicken down low. You're going to go to the buffet and enjoy your meal.
got a 3-1 start. The big question with Mongolia over the years is if they can get consistent offense. Kulan Novatar has been their, obviously, most consistent option offensively. But more balance is a good thing for Mongolia. And they capitalize yet again as Aryan Setseg gets the score with the foul. And will now step up to the line to try to make this a 2-point play.
I like the look from Erdene Bayan. Keeps Mongolia up close.
Aryan Setseg evens things up. 3 up.
Yeah, you don't want to give Chinese Taipei the opportunity to build the lead early, because then you're under pressure and you're having to find the offensive spurt to get back in the game.
Teague up top. Down in the post office, Ting is denied. So the addition of the length in this Mongolian roster with Erangru, Erdene Bayan, the 23-year-old, is paying off. Long arms, the shots are made difficult. Uh-oh, got something. That one's stolen away. Here's Su. Get it up top, Chin. Drops it over to Liu. Liu for the shot off the window. Yeah. Nice touch.
Bulbul Murat is going to have quite a hard day matching up with the more physical matchups. That's a nice two-lady action executed to perfection. And we got a nice little game on our hands, Kyle.
Yeah, clean give and go. Mongolia looking sharp, as is Chinese Taipei. Top 2 from each group advance to tomorrow's quarterfinals, by the way. Just so you know, half of those quarterfinal brackets are set after yesterday's play. Su pulls up from 2, and it's no good. Lands in the hands of the Mongolians. And thank you to Sport Hub Singapore. All of our official suppliers as well in Lyon, Baudet, Skelter Sports. We bring you the action from the OCBC Square. Angelo Bizarre, Sakarakis alongside. I'm the voice, Kyle Montgomery. Man, we've been having a lot of fun. I came from.
There's no denying it.
And we are, gotta be, what, 60 games in, I think. Yeah.
Well, yeah. We're beyond that.
Beyond 60 in. 5 days of competition here, by the way. Great shot attempt, it comes back. And we are nearing championship day. Kulan, in and out, just misses the mark. Stays where it's at. Wait a minute, that's a travel shoe. Kulan needs to cool off. And she will step out of the game and get a rest, as will Ting. And, oh, this one travel deserves another. Both teams decide to give it right back. That one in and out. Aryan Setseg comes away with the rebound. They got a 3-2 advantage for a moment, and they do not take advantage of that advantage. So Aryan Setseg will set our sights on a 2-piece. Thank you very much. 7-4. When I got Angelo laughing, that means we off to a good start. I got him laughing already.
You know you're a fool. You know you're a fool.
CC says I'm touched.
You're kite on the fool.
I'd like to think gifted. I think that's a good one.
You're so foolish.
We got a 3-point contest. Pool B. Got a warning, got to give a clean check ball. Line knows that. Team on the drive and the kick. Liu lets it go off the iron.
These are the shots that Liu needs to knock down for Chinese Taipei to to be a real factor in this competition because it's a nice balanced squad. Chan is the tweener that can give you toughness in the paint, but also attack facing up and shoot the mid-range. Sue is the playmaker, speeding things up and feeding inside. As we see a nice little turnaround finish.
Liu putting the 2 up off the glass and iron. Kulan snags another board. Now Kulan chunks the deuces. Back iron for her. Team will come away with the Chinese Taipei. She's going to let it fly from long range, and she also is going window shopping off the square and in for the 2. Chinese Taipei trailing 8-6.
In times of need, Kyle, never be afraid to call upon your best friend, Mr. Backboard.
You say that, but I don't think I've ever seen you make a shot off the glass. It was always all net, all wet.
Well, I like to not bother my best friends. I like to let him be.
No, but that's what they teach you coming up. They said that backboard is your best friend. Don't be afraid to use it.
Yeah, specifically mid-range.
Think about it. The most skilled players, we're talking about skill.
Yeah.
The most skilled shooters, they always use it. Kobe, Kyrie,
yeah,
KD.
On that mid-range, I was using that glass silly. Yeah. And it's kind of like your insurance policy. It's your guarantee of being covered in times of problems.
Agreed. As we get back to it, Arjen Sete to Bul.
Bul. That was too high.
Too high.
I like the facial expression of Steve Sir after that pass. There's no word coming out of his mouth, just like making kind of the shocked mug, you see? Like, did I see what I just saw?
The sheriff himself, the legend, Steve Sir. He's been a part of turning this Mongolian program really around. Now, they haven't needed any turning around at this event. So, you know, champions in 2017, champions in 2020.
You're talking about the men.
Talking about the men, right.
Getting that first medal last year.
First medal last year for women. But
yeah.
What he did was he installed or instilled a more offensive approach to a team that was really known for only toughness and grit.
Right.
And now they're starting to move that ball around and they can compete.
I think that Mongolia is falling in love with the 2 a little bit too much right now. They're just chucking up deuces at a high clip, but they need to alternate a little bit.
Sue, get him locked up. Never mind, Sue, tough bucket. She's one of those players that has proven to us in this competition. When you stop her on that drive, she can use that pivot so well. We saw that she made like 3 or 4 spin moves in a beautiful scoop that helped her win that game. It ended up going to overtime.
Yeah. No, she's a baller.
Yeah, she's got one on.
She's a baller.
Get that out the net. Yes. Kulan, no. Arjen said no. Trying to get it back over to Kulan, and that is deflected. It's going to be Mongolia ball, I believe. But a 9-8 game, Chinese Taipei in front.
Kyle, don't you like when players make you look good? Saying all the good stuff about her and swishity swish.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you very much for the good thoughts, guys.
Right on cue.
Keep hyping me up. I'm gonna make you look good.
No, I'd say throughout this tournament, you've been pretty good with your picks. I'd say you're hitting on about 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Yeah,
that's
I mean, for you. I'm talking about for you. That's a pretty high percentage.
I'm used to be a 0%. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, man. Keep it up. Keep it up. We're gonna eventually get you to 500 on your picks.
Oh my God.
We'll see. We got a tie game here.
There's one thing that I have on my side.
What's that? It's
karma and the clips, the video, the footage. I got the footage with me.
I've asked them to erase it after the game, so get the proof. Arjen Sete, no good. We are dead even 9 apiece. Liu in the corner. Ting is being pestered underneath. Not an easy game for her. And an off-balance layup attempt goes begging. Ting will recover and score. Chinese Taipei back out front as Bull comes around. Aryan Setsek with the devastating jab step. Don't be so quick to walk away. Dance with me.
She's gonna rock your body.
He said, may I have this dance? You don't have a choice. My goodness, that jab.
And the step back.
Aryan Setsek in her bag. I see you.
Step back. You don't
know
know her
me
like that.
11-10 contest.
We got a nice game on our hands, man. The beginning of day 4 was quite insane.
Indubitably. Down inside. Sue in the post office.
That was ambitious.
I was going to say mouse in the house, but that was mice.
Mice in their house.
Whistle on the way up. It's Kulan, member of the team of the tournament last year, and has emerged as one of the best players in women's 3x3. And she knocks down the free throw, and she has been a part of leading Mongolia to new heights. And she wears her heart on her sleeve, doesn't she?
Yeah.
An emotional player, and again, it lends itself to that great leadership, and she gives Mongolia a 3-point advantage. Team getting it out to Liu. Late in the shot clock, bottoms up. Man, we got some good action so far. Kulan driving through the paint. She's got a shooter in the corner. That 2-ball is on the way and blocked. Knocked down for the new add to the roster, Narangu.
Great pass from Kulan.
You have got to be kidding me. She's a miracle worker.
Oh my goodness.
Right back. They shooting. Oh, made you look. 17-14.
What did they put in the breakfast at the hotel this morning, Kyle?
What has happened? First, that shot from the corner was one of the craziest shots you're going to see. This was the bust back right here. But the initial bust was just insane. We'll see that replay later. That'll be on your top 5 plays of the day. I promise you. Aryan Setsek again.
What a great game. What a great game.
18-14. Mongolia, though, in front. Liu falling away. It won't happen. Kulan will kick it out. Nice ball movement from the Mongolians. Aryan Setsek to the crib. Not going to happen that time. Su now. She will chunk the deuces. Long rebound is tracked down by Aryan Setsek. Kulan using the screen. She'll drop it down low, but a whistle will stop the action.
That's 2 free throws.
That is they are in the penalty game. Now, 9th foul. 9th on Chinese Taipei. They are in some trouble.
It's one of the most incredible sequences that we've witnessed together, Kyle. I mean, the crazy shots, the response, the follow-up was like...
I think it's one of those games, right? Just like we saw in the men's competition where both teams have played really well.
Yeah.
Typically, each performance would warrant a win if they weren't playing the opponent they're playing. So, as great as Chinese Taipei have been,
right,
Mongolia have just been that much better,
right,
with crazy shots like the one we saw from Aryan Setsek from the corner. Kulan has been hooping, and it's hard to win it when they're clicking like this. As Aryan Setsek has 2 in front of her that can put Mongolia on the doorstep.
Yeah, but you have to appreciate the great scoring outburst from Evden Bayan, who is the addition that matches up inside well, using the length to perturb opportunities for the opponent inside, but then she's bringing her eco to the offense, and that's going to help because we know Aryan Setsek, we know Olan Batat, but if you get a third musketeer going to work, then now Mongolia is stepping up.
Do you remember the candy bar, the Three Musketeer?
Yes.
There was a candy bar there. I don't think they make it anymore.
No, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I'll tell you what though, it's better for your teeth.
Yeah.
It's better for your teeth not to see that.
Team Misses the first, second one as well. That does not help Chinese Taipei in their efforts to climb back in at 5-point deficit, 3:30 to play. And Mongolia will look to end this one before the limit when they get possession. Yeah, they got possession now. Got it sorted out as Kulan takes over top of the key.
Nice flash.
Great look. Arjen Setseg might be the MVP of this game. Arjen Setseg has been incredible for Mongolia in this contest as Kulan will have a game point. The ball in her hands, that is a safe place for it to be usually. Oh, wait a minute. See?
You thought she was finished?
I jinxed her. I said usually it's a safe place. And she throws a turnover. One of very few mistakes for her in this game. Su up fake, chunks the deuces, no, rebound. Arjen Setseg, gotta have a double 5 in this one easily. And who else? Arjen Setseg says, enough, game time. GG's, thanks for playing. Ends well before the limit. A dominant performance from the Mongolians as they pull away late over Chinese Taipei to earn their first win at the Asia Cup 2025 here in Singapore. Women's action continues next with Australia and Indonesia. So the defending champion Kangaroos up next. But what a game for Mongolia to get things started.
What a start of day 4. What a start.
Indeed. 2 games in the books, and both of them have been thrillers, setting the tone and for what we expect to be a day filled with fireworks. Highlights for you, and again, the game up next, women's competition, Australia, Indonesia. Don't you turn the channel. Angelo will find you.
Coming up next, in the women's division, we got Team Australia versus Team Indonesia. And now, representing
All right, you might have heard of them before, maybe. There's a chance. Gang, 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 gang. Kangaroos defending their crown twice over as they make their way to the court with a slightly different looking squad this year. There's your reigning MVP right there. They call her Willie. Alex Wilson out there with Mila Goodchild. If you're unfamiliar with Goodchild, did you see her at the Champions Cup last week in Bangkok? Unbelievable performance from the new young gun for the Kangaroos. Former MVP Marina Whittle is on deck. 3 Olympians representing on this Australian team. Annalie Maley as well. WNBA talent is aplenty. WNBL too. So Indonesia, listen, they're a good team, but they're underdogs in this one without question. But they showed some real toughness in earning their way out of a 3-way draw in the qualifying draw to get here. A must-win game. I can't recall exactly who that was they played against to earn that win. Was I think Macau. Okay. Was it Macau? Yeah. And but that was such a gutsy win for them. They ended up pulling away late, and it was enough to get them into the main draw. They've had a day of rest to get prepared for this main draw action, where obviously the competition it elevates, and no tougher opponent than the defending champions, Australia. So here we go. They'll get ready to get warmed up. Our officials are in place and ready to go. Dale Hamish and Tatsuo Nagoshi will handle this one. So Indonesia, who I remind people, I try to, they tend to forget that they were 3rd place finishers. They were on the podium just 3 years ago in this event. So they aren't so far removed from that, from tasting that success, and obviously want to get back here now. That was the first time they had ever medaled at an Asia Cup event. So trying to channel that winning spirit once again. So again, they'll get a chance to get warmed up here. They got Angelica Kandra, Christine Chandawan, Natasha Putri, and Dacia Saputera represent. So I'll ask you a tough question here, Angelo.
Talk to me.
If you're the coach of Indonesia,
yes,
what is the strategy to beat a very intimidating and very talented Australian team?
Well, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to use up the example that we've had in the first game of the competition today. If you're Team Japan in the men's bracket and you're playing a much bigger and impressive Iran team, how do you make them doubt? Well, if you don't bring up the intensity defensively and you're just catching yourself watching such a talented squad play the game of basketball, you're going to face a very short-lived game. Now, if you're Indonesia, you're trying to take Australia out of its comfort zone. What would that be? Well, don't allow them to play freely. Don't allow them to let Wilson and Whittle have fun with the game, have fun with the ball in their hands. You want to try to frustrate them. You frustrate them by pressuring them, hassling them. If you don't, well, you already know the answer to that.
That's a fact. Ali Wilson is the truth. I ain't never lied. Australia gets started with the opening bucket. 2 ball is released, and that, I think that will be really the only shot for Indonesia in this one, is if they can catch flame from deep. It's the great equalizer in 3x3. Being able to knock down those long-range shots. They are on target here early. The thing is with the Kangaroos, I mean, they got so much talent. Like, I don't know if there's a more dangerous pick your poison team. You got an MVP in Marina Whittle. You got an MVP in Ali Wilson. Goodchild, tied for the top score at the Champions Cup just a week ago. And I think she's 22 years old, 21. It's ridiculous. So an embarrassment of wealth when it comes to talent.
And we're not even talking about Emily May. It's silly. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I didn't mention Anna Lee because she was on the bench, but
No, but
WNBA.
That's what we're saying. Think about it. We're not even mentioning yet Anna Lee May.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
So Goodchild is good at the line. I think they're calling her Goo out there in Australia now. Goo.
Is somebody responsible for that?
Well, she had a jersey malfunction at the Champions Cup, and that's what it said. I think maybe the stick. Right now, the Kangaroos sticking it to him. Faux zip. Angel having some trouble inside. Wait a minute. Shot clock violation. Ooh.
Well,
Not happy about that. Otherwise, that would have been another bucket.
I think that Marina recovered possession of the ball before the buzzer sounded.
I do too.
Nice
Anyway,
flash.
here, take this. Thank you. Now Ali out there taking people's possessions. Goodchild. Goodchild again.
Goodchild, things are gonna get easier. Oh man.
Goodchild, things will get brighter. Wilson, she knows what to do with the Wilson. That's put it in the round thing. It's 7-0. The Kangaroos, they're taking over a new territory. Throw your sets up.
8-zip in less than 2 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
But
don't say I didn't tell you so. And they got four first place finishes. So they're reigning champs. And they've been chomping at the bit, ready to get to action. I know because I talked to head coach Damon Loud.
There you go.
And Indonesia get on the board with a two-piece. They show some life here early. Whittle down low. Partners in crime connected for another score.
Another travel.
So here they come once again. Gang. Don't convert initially, but Whittle is there to clean up the mess easily.
Good backdoor cut. That was a tough look.
Goodchild having a great game so far. Her first time here on the senior team at the Asia Cup. Part of a 12-2 start for the Kangaroos.
If you're Australia, there's no reason that you wouldn't try to make life easy on yourself. And I truly appreciate how serious they approached this game. Even though they knew they were the superior team on paper, they're showing it live.
Fed down low. Anna Lee. It's 13-2, just like that. Angel into the post. Sees an advantage, or she thought so, against Goodchild. Whittle off the mark. Goodchild, flotation device. Does not work out that time, and Indonesia make matters worse by turning it back over to the Kangaroos. So more than the offense, you know that's going to come, but it's really the defense of Australia who, again, have not only dominated at the Asia Cup, but also they medaled at the World Cup in 2022, took a bronze, and obviously represented at the Olympic Games here in 2024. weren't able to medal at the Olympics, but really put on a good showing, I think, at the Olympic Games.
Well, the density at such an event where you have so many contenders, Kyle, and Australia came up short, but they were one of the teams that was one of the most dangerous and most legitimate candidates for a medal. But out of 8 teams, you only have 3 spots. So somebody's got to have his heart broken, and it ended up eventually being Australia.
She was a good child, but she's the better woman. She is straight hooping. Mila Goodchild, sister Brianna Goodchild. She was out there in Paris for the Olympic Games, doing her job. Used to be hooping. I don't think she hoops anymore. Wilson inside, bottled up. She will force it up. No worries, though, for the Kangaroos at this point. Stepping through is Angel. Tough shot.
Angel down low has great fundamentals.
Answer right back, though. Australia just continuing to apply the pressure. Angel will get a look, and that didn't look good. Wilson, she passes up a wide open layup to get it to Goodchild. And again, Goodchild, the addition. Lauren Mansfield, due to injuries, unable to continue, and that injury happened at the Olympics. So sending a lot of love to Lauren. Hopefully she's getting better. Annalie Mayley, she can't get much better than this. Mayley mails it in from deep, splash ball, makes it 18-3.
And Annalie got away with some jersey holding right there. The referee couldn't catch it, being blindsided on the play, but wouldn't change much.
Don't let the smile fool you. She's gritty. She's tough. Physical. Willie. Just silly. Bump and the bucket. This is abusive. The Kangaroos setting the tone in a 19-3 game. Reigning MVP. Allie Wilson at the line. It will not go, but the rebound goes to Annalie Mayley. She's on the boards more than CEOs. Did you get that? You like that?
Obviously. I never laugh for free, Kyle. You earn every single one of my laughs. You earn them.
Game point, long range 2 attempt, not happening. Inside to Whittle, who's too big.
Fastest game of the day.
21-3, and it didn't even take 6 minutes to get the job done. Light work for the Kangaroos over Indonesia as they get things started in full D action for the women with a breeze. Next up, men's competition. Homestanding Singapore and Hong Kong getting ready to do work. They'll be checking ball at 3:45. So thanks to Australia making light work of Indonesia, we'll have a little bit of time before that next check ball. That gives us about 15 minutes before the action continues from Singapore. So don't go far, but take a breather. And we'll be back to it in 15 minutes. Day 4 of the Asia Cup 2025.
said FIBA 3x3 Asia Cup Singapore 2025. Plenty action coming your way. Day 2 of the main draw here at the Singapore Sports Hub. We got a big one coming up next. Hong Kong, China, going to be taking on Team Singapore. Let's do a little vibe check right now in the crowd. Make some noise if you're here supporting Hong Kong, China. Not bad, not bad, not bad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise if you're here supporting Singapore.
Hong Kong, Singapore, Mongolia in men's Pool A action. We get back to it. You know we would. Didn't want to keep you waiting too long. As we head into game number 4 on the day, back into the men's competition, we get to see home-standing Singapore against Hong Kong, who is a team that made it to the main draw from the qualifying draw. Had a day to get rested and get ready to go as they make their way onto the court. Ho Yen Wong, big number 15, making his way to the floor. Wing Hei Chan, 26 years young. Like a lot about this team. Lam Chun Tak and Choi Long Tak. Big team. I thought they played pretty well in the qualifying draw.
Undeniably.
I think I don't know if they overperformed, but I think that they served notice coming to the main. This is not a team that I don't think anybody's going to look over. You don't mark this as an automatic win on your schedule like you would do with some team.
Oh no, and they did not overperform, Kyle. Not at all. They lost one game. Don't forget the last one. It had no consequence, but they played the way they were supposed to. They took care of business. And don't forget, we were talking about qualifying draw. Now it's the main draw. So them getting there is as legitimate as any other team that earned a ticket here. Now, can you step it up one bit? And I think that is the best matchup that they could have right now to try to do that, to start off the main draw action on the right foot. But I tell you one thing, though.
What?
Talk to coach. Singapore is improved. Singapore is a better squad than last year, that's for sure.
Coach is a Serbian legend, the World Tour final winner, Lazar Rasic. And I actually chatted with him just a minute ago. And he says that, you know, they're more of a small ball team. They're not going to be a team that shoots a high volume of twos, but they want their offense to come through their system. You know, off the ball movement is very important, and they've got, I mean, you look at their frames, this is a team full of slashers. So they're built to get to the rim. And it all comes down to finishing.
I tell you what, you got a lot of veins popping up those shoulders and those biceps, man. Like, I don't know what protein they're taking, but they look strong. They look strong.
You got them on a nice weight program. So the Singapore men, who competed at last year's edition of the Asia Cup, finished in 10th place. And here they are, obviously trying to take it a step further this year. How crazy would this place go
if they go to the quarters?
If they go to the quarters, number one, or if they compete for a spot on the podium this year as a top 3 finisher. That would be incredible for them, and I'm sure for the the people here in Singapore. But you got to earn it. You got to earn your way.
One step at a time, Kyle. I think that if they make the stride in comparison to last year to make it to the next round, after that, obviously it's fair game. And it's a new tournament. Anytime you go to the knockout round, Cinderella stories happen every year. You can shock everyone. You can write any history you're willing to write at that moment. But to me, what I'm expecting from them is to step it up from last year, be more efficient offensively, be tougher defensively, follow the game plan better than they did as they're learning. Obviously, it's a building process. but if they make it to the next round, that would be quite a great accomplishment, as they've never been to that level of competition yet.
Well, it's their first crack at it. Game time. And a packed house here at OCBC Square as they'll get their first look at the Singapore men's team at this 8th edition of the Asia Cup. It is on, and no hesitation, just hydration. Alpha knocks it down from the logo. And I said that they weren't going to be a two-point shooting team, and that's what they do. This is how they start. Comfortable.
He took it personally.
And then the thievery, Hezi, cross, drive, lay. Kelvin Lim Hong Da. Soy will give it up. Wong on the baseline. He's going to draw the foul. Wong was really impressive at getting to the rim in the QD. He's likely going to be their best option at the guard spot. Soy obviously on the inside. That's the 1-2 combo on this Hong Kong team. Back door is broken up. Nice defensive play there as Espinosa gets in and deflects it.
Good defense.
Wow. Defensive pressure. It's been on 10. Watch your ankles. Something dangerous might happen to him. He just lured him to sleep with the lullaby, rockabye baby crossover. When I used to cross people, that's what I say. I was speaking for the ankles.
You would be so irritating.
Oh, you know, but what's worse is if somebody's yapping at you and you can't stop them, and they actually are crossing you up.
Oh man.
Yeah, 4-zip start, Singapore. They got a reason to be confident. This one officiated by Rhiannon De La Torre and Tatsuo Nagoshi, by the way. Singapore not negotiating at the start. They are having it their way. 5-zip, and they got OCBC Square lit.
What a dream start for Singapore at home. They're not doing anything crazy right now. First turnover. But they're not doing anything crazy. They're simply opportunistic. You had a putback rebound on a nice drive. You got some talent individually. The first initial shot that got everything triggered for them. But now the game is a 10-minute sprint, not a 3-minute sprint.
That's
so
right.
They got to keep up with the good work.
Lamb stops the bleeding lanky, gone in a blink. Wong trying to attack. His quickness is met with quick D on Blankney.
One thing that Hong Kong is not doing well at all in the first minute and a half, Kyle. They are not settling down their offensive schemes, and they are not utilizing the size advantage that is quite obvious for them in this matchup. They're playing to the pace of Singapore, and that's not the right look.
Yep, not their game. I agree with you. 5-point advantage for Singapore. I'm so glad that ball didn't reach Angelo's hands. It came over here. He was ready to shoot.
Plus, you know I was shooting before. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you made a couple.
Just a little.
Setting up shot right wing. That 2-ball is on the way. Graces the iron. But Alpha, he's the Alpha Lion here in the Lion City, Singapore.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he is slick as an eel. How'd that feel? To the crib, lay with the contact.
And you know what I like about this? It's what I was talking about this morning in the coaching forum and stuff. It's you won't never have your offense break down. You want continuity. It doesn't matter what the defense gives you. You have multiple options to be used right here. The drive, the pass, fake handoff, and you have options. They had a reversal pass available to them. He took it by himself. Good choices, good solutions.
Kelvin makes it 8-1, but a response from Hong Kong. The buckets have been slow coming, though, for the team in red. Baseline drive, kick, jab step, through the defense. Lay is blown, however.
But I like the way Singapore is playing with pace. And I like how Hong Kong is responding now, settling down a little bit.
Well, this is what they should have been doing from the very beginning.
Agreed.
But this is what happens when a team speeds you up. They kind of get you out of your system.
Correct.
And you're looking at a 5-6 point deficit early, and you feel the need to kind of match that firepower. You start taking some unnecessary twos, and the shot selection isn't as good as it should be.
Or you're forcing one-on-one situations.
Or force an ISO game. Alpha, not that time. Long rebound, finds his way back to Alpha. He swings it over, same spot and same result, as that is missed by Espinosa.
And that's the third foul on Binamil Putra alone. He's responsible for all 3 fouls for Team Singapore since the beginning of this game, so he needs to settle down a little bit.
3 fouls in almost 3 minutes of play as we get close to that first media timeout. Lamb attacking Espinosa. Gets it back, has the awareness to find Wong underneath. Hong Kong cut the lead in half, 8-4. Espinosa with the jab. Can't get the layup because he's fouled by Wong.
First TV timeout.
But it's been an ideal start for Singapore.
Yeah, close to it for sure.
8-4 lead. This is how the game started. Just calmly from the logo. Nothing but you know what. And the quickness of Lim attacking the rim and extending with those long arms. The attack has been relentless from Singapore defensively and offensively. And that would explain their 8-4 start pending this trip to the line for Espinosa, shooting just 1. Espinosa, yes sir.
And keep an eye out on number 1, Blakeney. He has the youth, the energy, but the physical ability to be quite a nice 3x3 player. 19-year-old.
Man, he checked 2 people off the to-do list on that layup. Wong elevated and somehow gets that bucket to go.
They need Wong to perform at a high level, Kyle.
I'd say so far he is. Alpha, count it! Hoop in the horn. A roar from the crowd. They gotta like what they seeing so far.
Well, we've never seen Singapore that competitive in the men's bracket, that's for sure. And they're playing with their tools. They're simple in the way they approach it. We got speed, we're aggressive, we're gonna take it right at you, and if you try to close the gaps, we'll pass the ball around and try to find something open.
Their biggest lead of the game, 11-5, 6:30 to go. Lamb driving, got his pill nearly stolen.
That's a travel.
And he travels.
Yeah.
So Hong Kong will have to combat some frustration. It has not gone their way through 3.5 minutes.
You know what Hong Kong is doing wrong?
What are they doing wrong? Tell me.
They're playing one-on-one ball the way Singapore plays, but they don't have the same personnel.
You mentioned that earlier. And the lead keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Espinosa, yes, sir. Oh, nice move and a step back.
He touched the roof of the canopy.
Espinosa with the quickness.
Making it look easy, huh?
14-7, Soy. That's light work for the big man. Alpha, drive, jab, kick. Lim, no, swatted. First really good defensive possession I think we've seen from Hong Kong.
Pretty good, yeah. But they are suffering. The bigger bodies, Soy and and Chan, they're suffering on those closeout situations a lot, Kyle. The speed of Singapore is hurting them a lot.
Chan.
That's an and one for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, big boy. Strong move. Hong Kong staying in it. Can get it down to a 4-point game. If Chan's able to knock down the free throw, he's got to wipe off his hands and face first. And up to the charity stripe he goes. Chan, no. Long rebound. Espinosa. Crossover, spin move. Deed up.
Yeah, they need to keep passing the ball around a little bit more as they've been good attacking that closeout.
He laid on him like he was tired. Hey, that's grown man business right there.
Body control.
Go hard or go home. We can see what Singapore is doing. They are going hard at home.
Which one-on-ones are the most successful for Singapore? Anytime they're attacking the bigger bodies off that closeout. When they force like regular one-on-one matchups, they're not as successful, Kyle.
Yeah, well, that's when we see their offense certainly more stagnant. Oh, that's a wide open look. Two is missed, but Espinosa, right place, right time, they'll get reset. Did that hit the rim? Shot clock didn't reset. That's going to be a travel, yep. So it didn't, not a great possession. And you can see Alpha coming onto the court and telling his teammates, settle down, pump the brakes. We got a 4-point lead here, but by no means is this game in the bag. As well as Singapore have played, Hong Kong knocking on the door, trailing by 4.
If you're Hong Kong, go back to settling down a little bit and be more patient. Don't be attacking those one-on-ones as initial options to be utilized. They've been scoring pretty easily every time they gave the ball inside to Toy or even Chan on the matchups with much smaller bodies. So why do you kind of shoot yourself up in the foot by rushing a little bit the one-on-one play?
That's a question that they're going to have to answer.
There you go. Give the ball inside to big boy.
That was great defense.
But better defense, yeah.
Blankney, Alpha.
Oh, they cannot stay in front of him.
He's electric as Elon is. That first step.
3 seconds in the paint. If Hong Kong loses this game, they're going to be looking at Chan and Soil as, hey man, when you're playing smaller bodies, you gotta make it at least a bit harder. They cannot beat you with just 2 dribbles.
Tell you what, they've been impressive to this point. Espinosa has that shot redirected. He decides to give it up. Kelvin, no. And out of bounds off of Singapore.
Because there's more than enough time for Hong Kong to make this game a thriller late, because foul trouble is not a factor yet for neither teams, so they can keep up with the ball pressure and they can be physical. But the main thing is, can Singapore keep finding the right matchups? Whenever they attack closeouts on Chan and Soy, man, 2 dribble layup city, making it look easy. Whenever they go back to playing one-on-one with more regular matchups, they're not as successful, and that plays in the hand of Hong Kong. On the other side, Hong Kong was so successful every time they were patient enough to give the ball in the paint to the bigger bodies, and that kept them in the game. So 5 fouls apiece. It can go either way. Who will have the most composure in the last 4 minutes?
16-11. Hong Kong back in possession of the Wilson. Lam gets free and beelines to the rack. Singapore trying to respond with an attack themselves, and not a well-constructed offensive possession for them. That was back to some of that ISO ball you had said. Not a lot of ball movement, 1 pass and a drive.
It's off closeouts. Yeah. On closeouts, they've been killing them. They've been killing them.
What song is that?
Fabulous. Oh, you've been killing them.
Let me take a sip of my espresso.
The espresso sip.
Plenty of pep in the step of Singapore with a 4-point lead. Chan inside delivery.
Chan matchup down low. It's like posting a letter.
Quick move as Penosa cleaned up Blakeney.
But then Chan has to suffer the consequence of being matched up with much quicker guards outside.
Oh, Lamb, he blew a tire. Alpha blew the 2 from the corner. Now he might be in trouble with Chan wanting to rock right now in the post. No choice but to foul. That is the 7th on Singapore. So that means 2 shots at the free throw line.
Just gotta be patient. Just gotta understand there's time.
And Hong Kong deserves some credit here. They withstood the storm. This is a 6-point game. Crowd was in it. They were out of sync, but they never kind of deterred from what their strategy is. Well, early they did.
They did
but,
early,
but
and
then
they
once they
suffered.
settled into
Right.
the system and the way they play, they got it down low.
Right.
Chan and Soy involved in the game. And now all of a sudden we're looking at a 1-possession contest. 17-15, 3 minutes to go. Anybody's game.
That's not a good foul from Chan. And it's a very easy foul to call.
Well, now obviously it puts them on the brink of the penalties.
Right.
The next defensive foul on Hong Kong means free throws for Singapore. 17-15, they get reset. Alpha. Over to Kelvin. Up fake from Espinosa. Kelvin, jab step, elevates. That's a tough bucket. Hey, that's a tough bucket. Oh. Whoa. That's normally going to be a score. Credit Alpha showing that lion heart in the post. Smallest player on the court.
Pulling the chair.
And he pulled the chair. Crafty defensive possession as he robs Chan of what would normally be an easy bucket underneath.
Chan got to stay balanced. You can't fall for that old trick. Because he wanted to over-bully himself to the cup. He didn't need to over-bully. Just back up slowly.
Yeah.
That's all. One dribble, he was already in the paint.
But you know, you see some big men just get a little too anxious. You know, they got this little guy on, they stand, this is an easy bucket. And the defender knows that. First thing they want to do is get that big bump,
right?
Get that position and go up.
Right.
So a smart defensive play. 2:32 to go. Singapore 3 points away from victory in front of the home crowd. Hong Kong have fought back in it. Blakeney, drop, step, the kid is strong.
Look at the 19-year-old, man.
Oh, Kelvin called for the push.
Don't foul.
They stop the clock, and we'll put Hong Kong on the line again. This time it's Lamb shooting the free throws, and can once again make this a 1-possession game.
Don't foul.
It is never, no lead, very few leads are safe in 3x3.
Especially with time in the bonus.
12-second shot clocks. Bonus free throws for Lamb. Too strong. Too strong.
Remind me what's the third team in that group, please, Kyle? If you...
In this group?
Yes.
With Singapore and Hong Kong?
Right.
Well, you also have Mongolia.
Mongolia, correct.
Yep, you got Mongolia.
So important first game.
Alpha making his move. Chan sticking with him like a spray tan. 19-16.
Stepped out of bounds.
Uh-oh. Watch your step. Ball up top. Fresh 12 for Hong Kong to start with. A 2 for them right now would be huge. All they need is 1, though, to make it a 1-possession game. Crossover, lay missed. Espinosa, Blakeney decides not to take the 2. They want to settle into this possession, but now they kind of got to rush one. Espinosa! Bank deposit for the game. The Lions are roaring in the Lion City, Singapore. Start off with an opening victory, and the fans on their feet. Impressive opening win for Singapore over Hong Kong. In men's main draw action, Pool A. So Hong Kong fought back in it late, gave Singapore a little bit of a scare. But playing in front of this crowd, it's hard not to perform. A lot of love in the air. Next contest is going to feature the defending champion Boomers of Australia and Iran.
The defending
buddy. So a
challengers.
A rematch of last year's title game. It's one of our marquee matchups. Enjoy the highlights. That check ball scheduled for the next in the next 5 minutes. So don't go far. This next one's going to be a good. Well, we got a blockbuster coming up. Men's Pool C action from Singapore at OCBC Square. Buckle up. This one could be a roller coaster ride. The defending champion Australia, the Boomers, who exploded at the Champions Cup just a little over a week ago, earning a bronze medal at that competition. We will see them for the very first time here in Singapore with a slightly different team. That was Lachlan John Barker that's joining Jonah Antonio, John Charles Dillon Stitt, and Alex Higgins Titsa, who is becoming a star before our eyes. I don't want to hype the kid up too much, but there's some players that you can recognize whose skill set translates directly to this game, and that's one of them right there. And the beast in the middle, John Stitt, that 1-2 punch, that's more devastating than Floyd Mayweather's. The Boomers defending their title. And aiming for a 4th Asia Cup championship. Iran had the unfortunate occasion of running into a record-setting game for Ryo Ozawa.
Right.
I mean, it's never happened before, so I was going to say once every blue moon. But they suffered a 20-point outburst from Ryo Ozawa of Japan and just could not win that game. Could not do nothing with him. And now they arrive to this contest against the defending champs in a must-win situation. They got to get it done or their run is over from the qualifying draw So we will see what this second place finishing team last year will do with their backs against the wall. Our two officials in this one, Chirong Shi and Chun Wing Leong. As we get game number 5 of 12 underway today.
3x3 is an unforgiving sport, Kyle. You do not get a second chance to make a strong first impression. You do not get a second chance to get that first win in the first matchup. And now, playing against the defending champs, even though you've matched up well with them last year, but they showed they were the superior team last year. Having your back against the wall, against the mightiest of opponents at this level of competition is really the worst case scenario. You were thinking that you had 9 toes in the quarterfinals with a win against Japan if you were Iran. Now you got 9 toes out of the event being matched up with Australia. So, well, let's see. They're more than capable of taking this game, Kyle. They are more than capable of doing it, but it's going to be quite a big task.
Yes, indeed it is. We just saw the dominance of John Stith and Alex Higgins in Bangkok at the Champions Cup. Now they bring their talents to Singapore for the Asia Cup. Biggest event in the region. In front of you right now, Agajanpur. Off balance, 2 attempt is no good, but they're reset, and same thing happens. That shouldn't have been a shot clock. Should it? Did it touch the rim? Okay.
No.
No, so shot clock violation. Got to get it back over. And again, this is a rematch of the 2024 Asia Cup title game. Different players, so different faces, but same nations represent. John Stick pulls up, misses it all. He's a Giannis Antetokounmpo doppelganger. Doesn't he look like? Hey, that's a very good comparison. I wish people could compare me to Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's the shoulders and the length, man. That frame. Speaking of length,
He's like stockier than, bulkier than Giannis.
no, are you crazy?
No, you got to look at the legs, man. I'm not crazy. I know Giannis really well. I've observed him all summer long with the Greek national team. The calves are bulkier, even the shoulders, but Giannis just built himself up to a level of strength that, you know.
Look at Barker on the line. Nice mustache. He looks like a member of a government agency or something.
Hello, I'm Barker.
He's like
CIA.
he's the lead detective. Doesn't he just look like he'll pull out a badge on you? Excuse me, sir. You were driving 5 miles an hour.
Trying to lob it up against Australia is not the right way to go about it.
No.
They're too athletic. The kangaroos jumping like kangaroos. You don't want to throw the ball up there.
Well, they aren't the Kangaroos. That's the women's team. These are the Boomers, mate.
Yeah, it's true, the Boomers, but
I reckon you better do your research, mate.
yeah, I was trying to just give the kangaroos a shout out.
It's never a normal day unless I haze you at least once, Angelo. By the way, Angelo Zagarakis, a.k.a. the Czar. That's him. I'm the voice of 3x3, Kyle Montgomery. Follow us on our social media page, please. I hate to beg, but please. At FIBA 3x3. Use the hashtag 3x3Asia. Or you can follow me at 3x3 The Voice. Here we go. Back to it. Oh, Cookies almost took. Now they are actually took. Agent Barker swings it over. Antonio. Johnny be good. Stith with a turnaround. As the Boomers are in front. Vahidi. Nice move. Can't finish it. Up top, Stith.
That's trouble.
Yes, it is. Stith, by the way, finished that Champions Cup a little over a week ago with an average of 6 points per game and 6 rebounds per game. It's pretty crazy. I mean, those are crazy numbers. Agajanpur off in the deep end. He can't sink it.
They need those.
Stith.
They need those real bad, Kyle.
Up fake. Stith double pump. He'll miss it. Loose ball lands in Iran's hands, who still have not scored yet. Agajanpur misses the mark.
They need those.
A slow start. Meantime, the package up front, or up top rather, And Stith
defense.
can't finish the turnaround. I'd like to see him get it to Rahimi. Agajanpour shows the soft touch that time. But so far, you know, usually Iran are featuring Rahimi inside early. I know that's a tough matchup with Stith down there.
Yeah, but you got to get the ball moving around.
3-1, Boomers. Oh, that's just too easy.
Front against Australia. They'll have to deal with the consequences.
Pull up from Jafari, and Stith is tripped up. Agajanpour doesn't like the call, and this is what Iran cannot do: is let their frustration get a hold of them. This is win or go home. Saw a little bit of that last year. You know, when the ball didn't go their way a couple times, the frustration started to set in. I want to see if the maturity is here this year. This has not been the start that they had hoped for. But the moment they lose composure against a talented team like this Australia team,
and very physical squad,
it could get away from them very quick. Exactly. Stith, swish. 2-possession lead. Vahidi. Facing the pressure from Barker. Jafari crossing right, left. Nowhere to go with it. He's locked up. Rahimi can't save the day. Jump hook goes back, and the interception from Jafari. And the bump from Stith. The second on Australia as we head into our first media timeout. Iran certainly have some things to discuss, to talk over, to right the ship here. Still obviously anybody's game, just 5-1, but they've had some issues offensively.
Yeah.
Stith finding his way to the bucket for the Boomers. Agajanpour's missed a couple from deep, but he has connected inside. First and only bucket for Alex Higgins-Titsa. They call him AHT. That's just a lazy nickname. You don't just give them a, yeah, come on. All right, what's your first initial? Middle name? Last? Okay. I got to come up with a nickname for him. Once he earns it. Setting up from Tulane is Rahimi. No, Antonio. Says, get over here. He wants to get it to Alex, and reach in foul called on Agajanpour. He's not happy with that one either. Don't believe that smile. It's not truthful. All righty. Agent Barker pulls the 2. No good. That is a shove in the back. Yes, indeed it was. Agajanpour, no.
They need some type of scoring outburst. They need some type of efficiency from two-point range, because
we have not seen Iran's offense struggle this much all tournament.
But they have never faced such a mighty defensive opponent, though.
Yeah, it's true, but I think it's more than that. I'm looking at the confidence. Ooh, Stith is hacked by Rahimi. But look at the body language is what I'm saying. Agajanpour showing frustration. Rahimi is kind of, his shoulders are dropped a little bit. I think that Vahidi is pressing.
But they're not being given anything easy, just like against Japan. And this time around, it's not the same concept. Japan is all about scrappiness and intensity, but Australia is about physicality. It's about athleticism.
Yes, you're right. Tip, no good.
Because you got to deal with some bad man. Higgins-Titsa or Stith. We're talking about power dudes that are up high, real strong. And after that, you got the guards being Barker or Antonio, they're going to come after you, but they're going to bump you out the way. We're talking about Australia, man. You know what I'm talking about.
Look at, yeah, but like another turnover by Iran. Just so it goes from bad to worse. You know the snowball effect.
Yeah.
You know, once that thing gets rolling, it gets bigger and bigger. They got to put a stop to it, I think, now. We're 4 minutes in. They've managed only one bucket. They look a little gassed. And the Boomers, they're not letting their foot off the gas. Stiff, spin move, take that elsewhere. That might provide the spark that Iran need if Jafari can hit it. Misses the two.
Yeah, but if Iran doesn't knock down any two-point shot right now, oh, that's a travel, that's a travel, that's a travel.
That was graceful.
That was traveled gracefully,
well,
yes.
Put a disc in front of it, didn't you? It's disgraceful. Man took 7 steps. 6-1. Rahimi to Vahidi. Oh! Crashing into Barker. Vahidi's trying to convince official Simpo that he was shooting. He was not. It's the 4th foul on the Boomers. Got a wet spot on the floor. Big thank you to all of those watching the action, wherever you may be watching it from. 5 days full here in Singapore. Back again for the 4th straight year for the Asia Cup. Inside they go, Vahidi. There's some offense for Iran. Still looking at a 4-point deficit. Antonio, that was longer than a speech. He's the shooter on this Boomer team. As Rahimi takes the package, delivers. Antonio. That time he'll miss it. Agajanpour. He's got to stop settling for that too. Right. It's not going right now.
Or trying to go step backs.
Ooh, Antonio took him out deep.
He needs to shoot it correctly. Good pass. Oh, you need those.
Rahimi is out of sync, but you can see he's gassed. That man shot there from the logo. Antonio, he's firing at will.
But Agajanpour is skewing to the left a lot on this shot. He's rushing. Stepping back is not going to help him. He needs to take rhythm shots. And Iran, between the layups and the open twos, they need more. But that's good. That is good. Alternating a little bit because they know he's a shooter, Kyle. So trying to take it to the cup a little bit, drawing the foul, it's not a bad thing.
Agajanpour fortunate to get a whistle there because he just got his stuff swatted. There was some contact on the hip, however, from John Stith. And that puts Agajanpour on the line, one of the returning players from last year's runners-up team. And man, it don't look good. Somebody better tell Antonio stop shooting. He hit one, and then he felt like he had permission to fire 4 straight possessions.
I'll tell you something. Antonio, keep shooting. Just keep shooting, buddy.
The thing is, he's very much a rhythm shooter.
That's a foul.
Because he caught flames against the USA in that bronze medal game in the Champions Cup.
That's a foul.
And count it.
But Vahidi got fouled on that 2-point shot attempt. Australia's a little bit lucky that they got away with it, but Iran staying with the flow of things. They're still fighting, and they're not out of this game quite yet, Kyle.
No. It's 8-4. Neither team has scored at a high clip. And the door is still very much open for Iran. Rahimi, what a save.
But they keep on missing free throws, and they cannot afford to do so.
Travel. And even...
Think about it.
Alex Higgins-Tinsa has not been so active in this game.
3 open twos, 2 layups, and 2 free throws.
This is supposed to be a blockbuster. Vahidi pushes the NOS button. That extra speed allows him to get to the rim. Past Rahimi is Barker. He drops it off to Stitt, but wasn't nobody home. And you can see, I'm looking up at that clock. Don't worry. You're going to get a breather here in the next dead ball with just a tick over 4 minutes left in this one. Pool C action, by the way. Kyle Montgomery, a.k.a. the voice in your ear.
Plus the bonus is looming, so Iran needs to stay aggressive towards the cup.
That is right. here, Stiff saying no fouls. Jafari redirected his shot, and Agajanpour running straight to the two-point line, and he drops the deuce in. Iran within one, and that one's poked away from Jafari. What a recovery play.
And challenge it, I believe.
Well, they'll get a, if they're smart, what they'll do is take this media timeout, then challenge it, and extend that rest.
Well, it isn't out of bounds, but
oh yeah, well,
apparently
they can't. Yeah, true.
Right.
But again, as bad of a start as it was for Iran, they overcome those frustrations. They stick with it. They finally get the ball to start bouncing their way a little bit, and they have trimmed it down to a one-point game.
What a low-scoring game, Kyle, and it's not a good thing for neither teams. Let's just put it that way.
Agajanpour gave a bad check to Alex Higgins-Titsa at the top of the key. They had already been given a delay of game warning, so now a technical is assessed. See, these are the things that Iran don't need. They just swung the momentum as Antonio will knock down the free throw, and I bet he'll be very... He's going to be careful how he checks the ball up this time. 9-7 game. I'm not sure what the delay is right now.
Neither am I, Kyle. Maybe it's the number of fouls.
But it has been kind of an ugly game. And I would expect this one to be a blockbuster. With so much talent and all this athleticism, and
There's
kind of
so much at stake. I mean, Australia punches its ticket to the quarterfinals with a win right now and knocks out one of the main contenders.
Oh, redirected. Stiff nearly hit it. Right back to Johnny. John Stitt, no, missed it.
And that's the foul that can tie the game up. That's a foul that can tie the game up right there. But
seventh, yeah, on Australia, seventh.
But Iran has shot really very poorly from free throw land, man. So I don't know. Let's see.
Well, again, you got to have what, a short memory in 3x3?
Yeah,
so
you need to be. You need to have amnesia.
So it's not about then; it's about now. And now is still missing free throws.
Yeah, like that's not missing. It's another word.
Rahimi struggled. He has struggled in the game. He needs one here to pull him within one, and he misses them both. Iran, they're shooting themselves in the foot.
They're shooting themselves out of the game.
Bahedi could have made up for it with one stroke. He doesn't do it. Really? I thought that was off of Agajanpour.
Really? Okay, man.
I mean, from
yeah. I'm not well positioned, but Australia with the ball now.
60% of the time, I'm right. Every time. You keep forgetting. And careless push.
Ooh,
why?
I don't like that call from the referee. It's one of the rare calls that I've disagreed with in this tournament. That's a moving screen all day, Kyle. It's like they say Vahidi pushes. There's a reason. He's getting bumped out of the way illegally with the hips. So, hey, look, it happens, and we've had some great refereeing all tournament long so far, but Iran is catching a tough break here.
Shiro's going to take back her pen from you. You better avoid her at the hotel, I'm telling you now. 11-7. Boomers back in front. Agajanpour continues to misfire. The stroke is broke indeed. Barker to the crib, no. But to see Iran held to just 7 points to this point in the game. And now Australia are arguing their case. It's red ball. Vahidi, goodbye. Turn on the burners, quick step. 2:42.
Did he clear?
He didn't clear. That ain't gonna matter at all anyway.
Didn't clear, right?
No, it didn't clear it. No. I think that they're gonna make sure that the clock is where it should be. But yeah, John Stitt did not clear it. Got to step beyond a two-point arc completely with 1 foot and elevate the opposite before you continue play. 2:38, that's what should be on the clock, not 2:30, so they added 8 seconds. So they get back onto the square from OCBC Square here in the Lion City. Jafari using the screen, having some difficulty with the length of the Boomers. Oh, great move,
but 5-cent finish.
Terrible shot. Barker up top. Alex Higgins-Titsa up fake, leans with it and misses everything.
Stop trying to lob it up, and that's a 3-second call for sure. That's like mental breakdown right now from Iran.
This is
all the free throws missed, all the layups missed, all the wide open twos missed,
and a coaching warning for Red now too.
Yeah, but Iran is a bit dejected, and they're here defensively holding the Boomers to 11. It's great performance, but offensively, see, almost turned it over here too.
Yeah, but you know, one bucket can change the game right now. Jafari gets it down to 2 points. Antonio steps back, creates some space in the relationship, but he blew it in and out. Agajanpour. He's going to keep shooting that thing.
Yeah, I don't like that shot selection at all.
How could you? Did you see how it hit the backboard twice? Shot clock violation.
And the thing is this, why go for the 2? Mid-range is fine too.
This game has been as dysfunctional as the Sopranos. I just don't, neither team, nothing is working.
Do you think he sees the ducks in the pool as well?
I see you saw that. That's a classic series, right?
It is a classic series.
Buck 36 left.
Thank you very much for the water.
Oh.
Cynthia showing us some love. And the foul that could, okay, Barker. Trying to keep the game interesting, I guess.
His mustache got in the way. Second one is good. Back out to a 3-point a game. Both teams in a penalty. Neither team has really had any rhythm throughout the game. A lot of fouls, as you can see, and a lot of frustration. So with 1:30 to go.
Nice speed.
Oh, but he's tough.
He's good.
He's tough. Has not had his best performance.
That's great defense by Rahimi. Great defense by Rahimi.
Oh, wow.
Great defense.
Yep, he had him in custody. And Alex Higgins-Titsa, really, really tough performance for him. He's frustrated as he heads to the bench. I think he's only got 1 score in the game. Vahidi driving. Got to be careful extending that off arm. Lucky he didn't get caught for a foul there. Vahidi. No. Rahimi. Yes. 1-point game and 1 minute to play. The Boomers with Antonio dropping a bomb from the left wing, and defense as well. What a timely hit from Antonio.
He's an assassin. He's an assassin.
You saw him when they beat the USA twice at the Champions Cup. That bronze medal win was thanks to his shooting. Connected on 3-2. He's very streaky, but he hits big buckets when they need it. Jafari, not what Iran needed at that moment. 35 seconds to go. It is crunch time. Barker going up top. And that might seal the deal for Iran. Agajanpour forces it up. Wild shot. 24 seconds left. And I think that's going to be the end of it.
If Australia gets the score there, even just 1 point, that's enough.
Well, this didn't exactly play out. Just the pace of the game, the rhythm didn't play out. Oh, there's Alex Higgins. That is disrespectful. He brought the bass to Radio Rahimi.
Oh, man. That's one of the best bars you ever had, sir. One of the best bars you ever had.
2-ball is no good.
Iran is out the tournament.
And Iran, it's time for them to go home. Runners up last year, run off the court. Here, main draw first. They ran into Ryo Ozawa, and then, oh, that ain't even right. Back scratcher, double pump. That just adds insult to injury. That just...
DJ Rahimi. Radio Rahimi. Oh, my God.
Radio Rahim. Spike Lee joint.
Yep.
That's it. So the Boomers, they will secure a spot in the quarterfinals with an opening win. Iran come up empty. Had a lot of potential, but were unable to fulfill it with just a poor performance in a must-win game for them. Credit the Boomers, who didn't play a perfect game by any stretch themselves, but was enough to get the W. So that'll do it for that one in men's Pool C action. We got a women's game coming up next. Thailand and Chinese Taipei in front of us. So they'll be getting it checked up here pretty soon. Stick around, enjoy the highlights. There weren't that many, but still worth a look. And Australia win over Iran.
Coming up next in the women's category, it's going to be Thailand taking on Chinese Taipei.
All right, Chinese Taipei, Thailand women. So we saw Chinese Taipei earlier in a game against Mongolia, and they fell short in that one. They find themselves in a must-win situation against Thailand, a team that we'll see for the very first time in this tournament. They do have some shooters on this squad, and you just saw one right there, Sapavati. They performed well at the Champions Cup a little over a week ago in their own backyard in Bangkok. And they'll see what they can do here in this edition of the Asia Cup. They look like they're feeling good. They're dancing. Oh, yeah, feeling very comfortable, apparently. Warinthan Somat, a new add to the squad at the guard position. And I think their most dangerous shooter, Rattiakorn Udomsuk. If she catches a flame, look out. She can burn the house down. Are they telling people to be quiet, or are they saying the number one? I don't. Which one is it?
I think it's number one.
All right. All they need is one win to secure a spot in the quarterfinals. Chinese Taipei have proven that they can play under pressure. Just in earning their way into the main draw, they find themselves in another difficult position. Must win to hopefully force a three-way tie. An 0-2 record means that you're done. Wei-Han Chen, she hit that miracle shot. Chen in that opener against Mongolia. I know they didn't win the game, but that's certainly a top 5 player today.
Yeah.
It might be #1 by the end of business. That was just a great.
Ozawa is going to take #1 no matter what you do.
Well, it was many plays for Ozawa.
But that's the thing. All many's become one because it's one big performance. 20 points, he's #1. There's no one that comes close. But I get what you're saying.
And then the dunk, Higgins.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
So you know what? Let's just agree to say Ozawa is a highlight of its own that doesn't even get it in a highlight compared to anything else. It's like, okay, highlight of the day is Ozawa, and then you get a top 5 play. Are we good with that?
We can agree on that. We can agree.
How about you talk to us about Thailand? Because I watched the games. Obviously, I didn't come take the event with you. You saw it from up close. Thailand wrote history, man. How about that huge win against Team France, which is something unheard of? And it's incredible when you think of how far they've come along to be able to pull off a win like this.
Yes, agree. I think it was maybe one of the biggest, not one of the biggest. It could be the biggest shock of the tournament. The way they started off and beating a storied, federation like France, and they did it with an incredible display of shooting. But the tournament itself, first ever Champions Cup in Bangkok.
Right.
I mean, it was really fun to be a part of. Obviously, the conditions. It was hot. It was sticky. But to see a team like Thailand perform like that in their own backyard, I think it was an encouraging sign for the future for them.
But I take it further, Kyle. I mean, to me, it's one of the biggest upsets when you think of the story between the two federations and those two teams, especially in the women's world. To have Thailand beat France, wow.
Yeah, France, they didn't play well at all out there.
It doesn't matter. You are who you are.
Udom Suk able to get it to go inside, returning from last year's Asia Cup team. Su with the step back off the glass, not happening. Driving kick, up fake. 2 is missed after the nice move. And again, this is the last day of group play. Udom Suk has punched the clock early, getting to work for Thailand in a 2-0 start, but the quarterfinal bracket will be set, and we will head into day 5 of the competition tomorrow. Already here midway through this last day of main draw action. Kyle Montgomery, Angelo Sakarakis in your ear. Su in the square, and she will knock it down.
Kyle, when you think of Udom Suk, she was already the bright spot for Team Thailand. Oh, another one. Thailand not cooling off after their great performance at the Champions Cup. They're bringing now new pieces that make this Thailand team a factor, because Udom Suk already showed out her potential. We saw her at the U23 World Cup, and then she carried that over to the senior level, and she was clearly the most talented and most promising player for this Thailand squad. But now she's getting the help she needs to convert into major wins.
Yeah, Udom Suk also stars on the women's series. She's got 6 international caps, the most experienced member of the Thailand team. Chinese Taipei trailed this thing by 3, and that will not help unless Chen can get this one up and in. She does just that. Ball movement here, Summit. Drops it off. From Chuan. That is still flying. But it was Suba Vadi and Udom Suk. Both, excellent shooters from beyond the 2-point arc. But what you worry about with Thailand is living by the two means that you could die by the two.
Yeah.
You know, so I think they're going to add another dynamic to their offensive attack, and their victories can't be solely dependent on if they shoot it well or they don't, because naturally there's going to be some games where the shots just aren't falling. You got to have something else that's more reliable that you can go to.
Well, it's a building process right now. They're actually living. Meaning, you say you live and die by the two, but they're living by the two. So even though they may not be as consistent as some of the best teams are, they've shown great improvement.
Well, Udom-Suk is using that driver's license here early, so they're showing that they're making a point for me, because they aren't making it rain from deep. They're getting to the rim and converting on layups. 5-3 start for them. Su with a quick move. Had her all turned around, and the foul is then called. Su up to the free throw line with 1 in front. 2.5 minutes into this Pool B women's action from Singapore.
But Udom-Suk already shown that she had the full package. She has the mid. She had shown that she could use the mid-range. She could play with her back to the basket. Now they have other tools, and even though they are a two-point driven team, they do have the promise of something more, with more work and obviously a talent pool that it keeps on improving.
Dribble, drive, Coach Yuan, get you some.
They heard you.
She averaged 5 points per game out there in Bangkok at the Champions Cup. Look, that was the flamingo flip. One-legged two-piece from Liu.
I like what you did there. The flamingo flip.
I always forget which bird is the one that stands on the one leg, but it is a flamingo.
It is flamingo. So.
Good, I didn't blow that. Thank you.
You know what color they are, right?
Yes, pink.
That's what I'm saying. So you knew what bird it was.
Out of bounds. And time for a immediate timeout. 1-point game. So if you're just joining us, the way this day has gone is started off with men's Pool C action with Japan catching fire, literally with Ryo Ozawa scoring 20 points in a win over Iran. Then we saw the Mongolian women outpace Chinese Taipei to put Chinese Taipei in the position that they're in now in a must-win situation. Then the Kangaroos just ran away with a W over Indonesia. That was followed by a home win for Singapore over Hong Kong in the men's competition. Then an ugly game between Australia and Iran. Iran lose it out of the competition. That leads us to where we are here now. Game number 6 and a 1-point game. Out of bounds. Yep.
We're already halfway through the day.
Yes, we are.
That's insane.
Yes, we are. You know what I got on my mind?
Talk to me.
One of those juicy cheeseburgers and an ice cold Coca-Cola in the session break. I keep hearing it call me. Oh, never mind, that's you. Never mind, that's you.
I didn't say anything.
Come and take a bite. All right, settle down.
Good backdoor cut.
Coach Yuan with the Wilson in hand up top. Udom-Suk kicks it. Had to heave it up late in the shot clock. Touches nothing. Ball over the blue up top. Su to Ting. Ting. It's the ring. Udom-Suk. Great job on the drive. Has she taken a 2 attempt yet?
In this game?
Yeah.
Don't remember. I don't think so.
So Udom-Suk intent on driving to the rim. Nice.
I don't remember. I mean, she's hunting for those, but she's the full package, man.
Udom-Suk, who averaged 6 points per game at the Champions Cup, will put that one in the cup from the free throw line. Down low they go to Xu. She will fall away and will miss it. Chinese Taipei finding it difficult to get easy buckets in this one. DJ Last on the spins, by the way. Shout out to the GOAT DJ. And MC Noah Lazarus. Uh-oh. They got to be quicker than that. They run out of time. So it started with 48 teams, y'all. 48 teams, 25 countries. We had 49 games of qualifying draw action. See, Johnny on the spot. Noah Lazarus coming and hooking us up with some potassium.
Potassium.
From the greatest country in the world. 8-5. Summit at the line. Free throw goes begging, rebound. Goes to Chinese Taipei. Looking for a spark. Can Liu do it? She certainly provides a flicker. A little bit of an ember from the right wing. Gets the lead down to 1. 8-7. Thailand in front.
And you can tell that Liu got hit in the socket. Her right eye is a little bit puffy,
yeah.
And maybe that's what she needed to find the tuning in her shooting.
Udom Suk down in the post office. Yeah, she got banged up in the QD in their last game. Su, oh, these goals ain't loyal. In and out.
Chen with no love on the finish.
That's an offensive foul. So if she wasn't beat up enough, they wanted to even things out. She marked up on the right side of her head. Now she just took a shot to the left side. She's like, yo, that's a bow, bro.
Yeah, plus always hurts, especially side of the head.
You ever caught a bow and got like one of them bow hickey knots? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I never. Oh, I tell you what. Never caught a bow, but when I was a child, close to the kindergarten years, playing around on outside during recess, one of the kids threw a stone right at my forehead. One of those biggest knots, right in the middle.
Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words should never hurt you. You never heard that?
I have.
I was gonna say 8-7 inside. Make that 8-8. Summit high and off target again.
Good defense, good scrappy hands.
Inside they go. Kun Chuan, Thailand, who finished 8th at the Asia Cup 2024, in front by 1. 4.5 to go, and that one goes begging off the iron. Summit. Oh, Kun Chuan wanted that ball. They don't give it to her. Not a bad decision because Udom Suk had an open lane for a lay. Shot defended well. Kicked out. Su lost a footing. Still keeps it alive. Inside. Ting to Chen. Whistle.
Hey, Chinese Taipei is staying in this thing. Scrappy team, and they've done that throughout the whole competition, being the Q draw or the first game against Mongolia. It's a team that will not go away. They will fight throughout the whole contest.
Summit, bullet pass, great vision.
Great vision, but I love the option offered on that cut. Instead of just staying around and watching, you gotta help your teammate.
All about that perpetual movement.
Yes.
Kun Chuan not happening that time.
Good pass, good recognition, but I mean, not good pass. What I meant was good recognition of trying to make that pass,
yeah.
But you gotta
execute.
Yes.
We will execute a timeout. Second media timeout. Look at the Fuji cam. Look at the emoji cam. All this, I like that. They can't see it at home, but on the emoji cam, you're supposed to match the emoji face.
Yes.
It's the eye roll. Come on, give it your best shot with this.
You want me to give you my best shot?
Yeah, let's see it.
All right. So you're gonna critique my emoji face?
Yeah, we need a camera over here on Angelo. I want to see his best emoji eye roll.
So out of 10, what do I get? That's great.
That's pretty good, actually. I could be a 9.
Oh, thank you.
Su.
Good.
Ting. That's light work. That's the type of action that Chinese Taipei need to run more often.
But that's the first time that they're going for it.
Udom Suk wants the ball. They don't get it to her. Instead, Summit will get an attempt with 2 seconds to shoot. She drops it through. Steal, Summit. I'll take that. You take this. defense and offense from Summit. Diminutive in size, but having an impact on this game. Big impact. Expands Thailand's lead to 4 and a well-earned rest. I think you made this point during the qualifying draw about that extra wear and tear. You know, playing in this heat and those couple of extra games, by the time you get here to the main draw with stiffer competition, you know, it just looks like like Chinese Taipei, they've lost a little bit of that step. They lost a little bit of that vigor.
A little bit.
It's not about the mentality. I think they're playing
they got
hard.
the mentality, yeah.
But they're just not as quick a step as they were before. And obviously that's going to happen as you play more games.
But one thing that I would like to see them try to utilize a little bit more is the two-lady action with Ting. I think that they're kind of condemning themselves into trying to attack gaps with what you just mentioned, the lack of energy or less of energy available to those legs. Maybe just keep the game a bit simpler. You saw the execution with Su and Ting that gave them a wide open layup. Then why don't you use it more? If it's not broken, why you fix it?
True facts. Kuchuan, quick step. So Thailand playing a different brand of 3x3. Expected them to be a shooting team. They have almost exclusively been a driving squad, which has allowed them to get a 4-point lead. That one's stolen away.
That's the second time right now in a row on transition that Ting tries to outlet and turns it over, Kyle, and that's costly.
Summit with a wild shot. He was wild. And got tricked with the up fake. So the trick leads to a treat. 2-piece and a 2-point game. Kuchuan, yep, she walked. She Euro stepped before taking a dribble. Under 2 minutes to play. A close one with Chinese Taipei trying to stay alive.
Ting is cooked. She's trying to stretch. She's trying to find that second win. She's struggling right now. Good pass.
Well, that's how you remain effective even when you're drained.
You're right.
Using that body and delivering that pass right on the money. Udom Suk driving, kicked out from the right wing. Summit lost it in. Udom Suk reverse, no good. Quick kick out. Su all day long, no. Kuchuan, oh.
Second time around that Thailand does not capitalize on a great opportunity to build a bit. Oh, that's a foul. That's the 17th foul on Thailand.
It's not a good foul indeed.
Yeah,
and
she's in pain a bit.
Yeah, Ting. She got rear-ended. Hit the deck.
Oh, yeah. It's not the knee, it's like the top base of the calf. She got kneed right in the back right here, but she's a tough cookie, guys. Trust me, she's as tough as you can make them. And she has 2 free throws. That would be an absolute huge win. Did I say it loud enough?
I was going to say.
Huge win for Chinese Taipei if they can come out alive with this one.
How many U's do you need in that huge? Take off like 2 of them. So you're saying that this is a big trip to the line?
It's a huge trip to the line.
Minute 15. And Ting can put Chinese Taipei in front with 2 makes. That is no longer an option. Now she'll try to salvage this trip to the stripe.
And Chinese Taipei still has 2 fouls to give. So if they use them smart.
Makes the second one count. It's dead even. A sprint to 7. With 1:10 to go. Wrong. No good on that one. Up top, Su directed traffic. They want to get it to Ting. Ting runs into trouble. Double team. Su navigating through traffic. Beat. Udum-suk, misfire.
Big rebound.
Whoa. Coach Yuan is slow to get up. That looked a little scary for a moment.
It was, because that ankle was at the wrong place at the wrong time. But good thing she fell the right way. She followed the motion. But Chinese Taipei has the bonus as an advantage right now. The clock has an advantage right now. Let's see if they can come up with a huge basket here, not committing a turnover.
40 seconds left. Actually 35 now. Liu falling away. 30 ticks. Thailand looking to tie or take the lead. Summit gives it up on the cut. Coach Yuan, we're dead even. Not at 15. 19 seconds left, a steal. Thailand have it cleared. 5 seconds separate the game clock and the shot clock. Down low they go. Coach Yuan kicks it out. Wide open shoot. Shot for Summit, no good. 6 seconds left. Team to Su. Su, reversal! Oh! What a win for Chinese Taipei! They had to get it, and they got it. They continue to show the heart of champions. And they pull it out late at the horn. Just in the nick of time over Thailand. Chinese Taipei.
They're alive. They're alive.
They're gonna test your cardiac. Everybody's pulse is racing. And you can see what that win took out of Chinese Taipei. They're gonna look and make sure that that shot was released on time.
Oh, no questions.
I don't think there's any question about it at all. I think that they certainly got it up. And speed kills, right?
Hey, how about Thailand?
That counts, yes.
How about Thailand facing elimination now against Mongolia?
Whoa, yes.
Whoa, indeed.
That is going to be obviously huge, a massive game at the end of this day. That's it for the first half of the day. Whoa. As expected, the competition continues to shock and amaze here with the Asia Cup. Chinese Taipei feeling good. They should be.
Well, they're feeling exhausted, but they're clearly filled with pride, because it's not small feat to come back in a game where they were struggling, and also knowing how demanding physically it's been for them to stay in this game. It's all about the will right here, and they have, as you mentioned, hearts of champions. They deserve all of our consideration.
Yes, some of the highlights in this one, and I think Thailand, well, I know that Thailand could have benefited from some, some sharpshooting from long range, because they've proven the ability to be that type of team.
Yes.
They kind of turned into a one-point scoring team, more small ball, and I think that played in the favor of Chinese Taipei, who were able to just outlast them by a single point, 16-15, and now the pressure is all on Thailand if they want to continue to play on. Tough opponent for them in Mongolia, as that game will be coming up later on today. Time for us to take a break. We get a session break and chance for a breather. Next contest is scheduled for 6:30 local time, as we'll get back to it with Pool D action, Philippines and Indonesia. So just to be safe, get here early. 6:25, we'll be back live from OCBC Square in Singapore. Enjoy the intermission. We'll see you in an hour and a half.